At one high school, there was a kid who loved his cat more than anything. He'd had the cat since he was a little tyke. They grew up together. The cat slept at the end of the bed every single night. Well, eventually the cat got old and passed away. No! No. And the family buried it. Or at least that's what people thought. A few weeks later, this kid starts talking to his parents about taxidermy, which is when you stuff an animal to display on a wall or a mantle. You know, you've seen fish or deer. Well, his parents think he's joking at first, but after more conversations, they realize that he's dead serious. He was so attached to the cat, he couldn't part with it, so they actually had it preserved. Now here's where the story gets a little strange. There was one teacher at his school that he really looked up to. This teacher always encouraged him, always asked him how his cat was doing. So one morning he decides he's gonna bring his stuffed cat to school to show his teacher. He walks into school carrying a big box. The teacher smiles. "Morning, miss." "Hey, sweetie, how are you?" "I want to show you something." "Oh, okay. What's in there?" He sets the big box on her desk, opens the top, and pulls out the stuffed cat, hands it to her. "Here." "Oh my god! What is it?" "It's Mr. Whiskers. I had him stuffed." "Oh, that's lovely." Now at this point, there were other students in the classroom as well, and they were horrified. Nobody knows what to say, and this kid's just standing there smiling like he did something good. And every day for the rest of that year, he carried around his stuffed cat, and people just let him. That's grief for you. You never know how someone's gonna handle it. This kid noticed something about the Gatorade machine at his school. Only 2 flavors, yellow and blue. Now, nobody touched the yellow ones because the yellow Gatorades suck. So whenever they went there, they were getting the blue ones. Well, one morning before first period, he walks to the Gatorade machine and he notices that there's only 8 blue Gatorades left, but there's a ton of yellow ones. Well, he took a risk and he decided to buy every single blue Gatorade left, all 8. He carries them to his locker and he puts them in this little cooler he would bring to school every day that held his lunch. It kept the Gatorades cold. Well, at lunch, everybody went to the vending machine. They were ticked off. "Wait, only yellow left? That sucks!" Kids are standing there like, "Yo, what happened?" That's when this kid came out of nowhere. "Yeah, sorry guys, there was only 8 blue Gatorades left this morning, so I got them all. Yo, can I buy one from you? How much you gonna give me? $1.50 like the vending machine takes?" "No, you see, because now there's supply and demand. I gotta charge you more than the vending machine. Fine, I'll give you $3. "Yeah, dude, I'm so thirsty. 4? Deal." He sold all of those Gatorades for an upcharge, and he made pure profit that day. It wasn't crazy money. The next day, he tried to do it again, but at that point, the school had restocked all the blue Gatorades, so it would have been insane to buy 30 of them. But hey, that's the mindset you need, my friends, and you gotta respect the frickin' hustle, baby. This kid got half the school to pay for something that didn't exist. On Monday morning, he walked into school holding a clipboard. At the top of it, the clipboard said, "Waiting list," and that's it. And then there were slots for names. Well, he starts talking about it and showing people, and they ask him, "Hey, waiting list for what?" He says, "I actually can't tell you, but it's awesome. You want on the list?" "Sure. It's just $2 to secure your spot." Okay, sure. Here, kid pays. Gets his name added to the list. And how it usually works is people start noticing, and that's exactly what they did. And then they were curious as well. Now, not everybody was dumb enough to sign up and pay for a waiting list spot for something that they had no idea about, but a lot of kids did. By the next day, word had spread a bunch, and more kids wanted on the waiting list. But that's when he upped his game. The waiting list is actually full, you guys, but we did add 10 more spots. It's just $5 this time to hold it. And everyone did. People signed up for this thing. Teachers start asking and the parents started hearing about this. A teacher asked him, "Hey, so what exactly is the waiting list for?" Don't worry about it. It's exclusive." After about 3 weeks of doing this and making a lot of money, somebody cornered him. It was the school janitor. "Hey kid, what's going on here? I demand an answer onto what this is." He just smiles and says, "There isn't one. This is a waiting list to nothing. Oh, I also spent all the money. So, what are you gonna do about it?" The janitor gets the principal suspends him. But he never had to pay the money back, so I guess that's a win. But he is a scammer, so it's bad to scam people, right? Every football practice, the kids would come outside, and they would all dump their backpack into one giant pile right next to the building. Well, by the time practice was over, everyone getting their backpack was a mess. "I think mine's in the bottom." Some kids had the same exact backpack, so sometimes they would take it home on accident. It'd be a huge mess. Well, that's when this one kid who wasn't wasn't even on the team got an idea. One day before practice, he showed up with this little table and a basket full of bottle caps. Each bottle cap had a number painted on it, and there was 2 of each number. Here was the thing. When you handed him your backpack, he would clip one bottle cap to the zipper and give you the other bottle cap with the same number on it. So just like checking a code at a restaurant. Hey, Billy, what's up? Here's my pack. Thank you, sir. All right, you are number 3. Here's your cap. Hey, thanks, man. Have a great bat. Have a great practice, Chief. Practice ends, the players run over, they form a line, and each person gets their backpack in an organized fashion. The coaches even started using this. It's actually quite brilliant when you think about it. And you see, he didn't charge a single penny for this service. But what he was offering was so valuable, a lot of people tipped him. So did the coaches. So he made some extra cash. Plus, he wasn't doing anything after school anyway. If they didn't tip him in cash, they would give him snacks or a Gatorade. They called him Backpack Guy. Gotta respect the hustle. This kid started a newspaper at school, and it wasn't the school newspaper. Every Friday, he would show up with around 20 copies of this newspaper he would print at home. And here's the thing. Everything in this newspaper was 100% true. It was all just completely unnecessary. One headline said, "Mr. Jenkins bought new shoes." All right. Another one was how the science teacher switched from black coffee to coffee with vanilla creamer. There was an entire article covering the fact that some kid's dad bought a brand new lawnmower, and one about another kid's grandpa who got a new hearing aid. Nobody needed to know any of this stuff, but people couldn't stop reading it. Hey, did you read Johnny's newspaper this week? Yeah, I read that Steven's cat no longer has fleas. The headlines were crazy. Stuff like, Mrs. Carter has worn the same watch every day for 8 years. Or, the principal parks in a different spot every time it rains. Or, every Wednesday the janitor whistles the same song. Teachers would buy and read these newspapers as well. Hey, how did you know I bought new shoes? The kid would be like, oh, I pay attention. Pretty soon everyone got paranoid because they're like, this kid knows everything. People started acting different because they didn't want to be a headline. But this kid didn't post rumors or gossip. It was just simple stuff. It was harmless. Nobody was getting roasted. It was just information. You know what? You gotta respect the hustle. Here's what happens when you ban food delivery at school. One Friday afternoon, the school sends out an email. DoorDash and Uber Eats and all delivery apps are banned. And they did this because they wanted the students to spend money in the cafeteria. Like $7 for a piece of pizza. Well, Monday morning, this kid named Tyler realizes he has a free period right before lunch. And he also has a car. Vroom vroom. So, right before his free period, he tells some people. And he begins taking orders. Okay, I got 5 people for McDonald's, I got 3 people for Wendy's, and I got 7 people for Taco Bell. So during his free period, he would take all the orders and he would go and get all this food. And when he had the people give him money, he always made sure they gave him a bit more than the order actually cost. So he was making profit. By the end of the week, he had done 50 orders. He would get the food during his free period, and during lunch, he would just pass it out. Be discreet. He would put all the food in regular brown paper bags before he brought them to the customers, so the school didn't see the actual fast food bags. Genius. And the cafeteria line began getting smaller and smaller every day, while this kid's orders began getting bigger and bigger. It got to the point where he couldn't accommodate all these people. What do you mean you can't take my order? I've got like 30 people to feed today. The school tries to shut this down, but the kid was allowed to leave during his food period. He was basically just sharing the food with other students, so they couldn't. What they had to do was lower the prices of cafeteria food. And then this kid's business began to dwindle, but it still kept going, because outside food was still way better than school food. Gotta respect the hustle. Is it just me, or is banning a student from the bathroom a horrible idea? There was this one student who was basically infamous for wandering the hallways. He would ask to use the bathroom every single day during class. Can I use the bathroom? Again? Okay, fine, but hurry. He would then go and take like 30 minutes. Every time. When I was in school, I knew a few kids like this. Well, anyway, he would be gone for a long time. The teachers would go out, and they would find him just wandering the halls, talking to friends through their classroom door, just killing time. It got so bad that the school banned him from taking bathroom breaks during class. And they sent a memo to every single one of his teachers. Anyway, one day, this kid ate fish tacos during lunch, which already, that's a horrible idea. Well, midway through third period, he begins sweating. He raises his hand. Can I go to the bathroom, please? My stomach hurts. Nice try. But no. So he tries to keep it together. 20 minutes later, he's practically doubled over. The teacher still refuses. And then it hits. AirPods. Right there in the middle of class, in front of everybody. Oh! And it's a frickin' mess. Turns out the kid had actual food poisoning. But he wasn't the only kid to get food poisoning. Other kids also had it, but they were allowed to go to the bathroom. He wasn't. The school ended up settling in court with this kid's parents, and they got a good amount of money. Turns out, it doesn't matter if the kid was wandering hallways or skipping class, banning them from the bathroom is not okay. But it didn't matter how much money his parents received in the court case. He was still made fun of for the rest of his time at that school. That is messed up. This kid's a diabolical genius. There is this kid at one school named Theo, and he had a connect at the front office. Bada bing, bada booty. What? Now his school's lost and found was always stacked. People lose stuff constantly. Phones, AirPods, expensive jackets, you name it. So, come here. Here's how it worked. His friend at the office would text him whenever something good came in. Theo would swing by, take whatever it was, and just walk out with it. Nobody questioned it because he was always hanging around the office anyway. But here's the genius part. His connect at the office, the person that let him know when stuff came in, would let him know when someone came in looking for their stuff. Oh, you lost some AirPods? Yeah, I can't find them anywhere. Okay, 1 sec. He would then text his friend. His connect would let him know the person's name. Theo would then find them in the hallway. Hey, I hear you're looking for your AirPods. Oh my god, yeah, thanks. I found them. Okay? What? Give me $40 if you want them back. And he would charge these people if they wanted their stuff back. Not the full price, obviously. Now, Theo was pretty savage. People didn't want to mess with him, and they were so desperate to get their stuff back that they paid him. If you go to the principal, I'm gonna beat you up. They paid up every single time. He did that the entire school year. Made over $1,000. School eventually figured out what he did and this kid was expelled. But by then he had already made his money and he wasn't gonna give it back. Now I normally would say, hey, gotta respect the hustle. But this one's a little shady. What do you think? They had a substitute teacher and Henry was sitting in the back of the classroom. He was minding his business. And the substitute came in that day strict for no reason. He scanned the classroom and he saw Henry in the back. He sees 2 small devices in Henry's ears. Hey, you! Give me those headphones now. Okay. He didn't argue, he just handed over the devices. The substitute then took these, put it in the drawer, and began teaching. About 10 minutes later, he needed a volunteer. Okay, one of you come up here. You know what? How about you? In the back. Henry. No response. Since you wanted to listen to music all class, why don't you come up here and help me? Still nothing. He then lost it and walked straight to Henry. Hi, hello? Why are you ignoring me? Oh, you were talking to me? Yes. I'm sorry, I can't understand you, sir. You made me give you my hearing aids. This dude had confiscated Henry's medical necessity, and boy, did he feel stupid about that. Well, why didn't you tell me? I don't know, you seemed real strict about it. He returned the hearing aids right then and there, but he never returned to that school. Yeah, I wouldn't either. He was a kid, his mom dragged him to the nearest 7-Eleven. I don't want to go. Well, that's too bad. Well, they get there, she goes in the store, but he waits outside. He then sees this older, strange-looking guy sitting against a wall. Hey, want to see something cool? And he's a kid, so he said yes. Of course he wants to see something cool, which you should never do. The man then smiles, and then pulls off a prosthetic leg, and showed this kid his leg stump. Look at this. The leg stump had a very weird smiley face drawn on it in Sharpie. The kid absolutely freaks out. That's not cool. The man then panics because I guess he had good intentions. Oh, no, wait, look, it's actually cool, look. The kid's now ugly crying, the mom runs out of the store. What's going on? His leg. The man's embarrassed, the mom's freaking out at him. I don't know why he showed the kid his leg stump anyway, but she went home with her kid. And years later, when he sees a 7-Eleven, he freaks out a little bit still. This teacher was the strictest in the school. No phones, no talking, and absolutely no food. But then one morning, before class, she saw a single flaming hot Cheeto perfectly taped to the middle of her desk. What is this? She peeled the snack off, put it in the garbage, and monitored the room incredibly well that day. Nobody came forward. The next day, another Cheeto, taped with a single piece of Scotch tape on the pencil sharpener. Another one. The next day, another one taped to the back of her chair. The day after that, it was taped to her escape key on her keyboard. What is going on? She had no idea who was doing this, and it was messing with her badly. So she went to the school principal and the people in charge. And they're like, okay, settle down, it's just Cheeto, but I'll make an announcement. The principal was young and new, and he was about to make a major mistake.
Good morning, students. Whoever keeps taping single hot Cheetos to things in Mrs. Gable's room, please stop.
Uh-oh. He made that announcement to a middle school. What happened next? Dozens of students thought it was hilarious and started doing the exact same thing. There was flamin' hot Cheetos taped everywhere. Library books, school trophy case, the gym scoreboard. So the school tried to kill this joke for Mrs. Gable, but instead they accidentally started a cult. The taped hot Cheeto cult. And there was nothing they could do about it. The only thing that kills a trend is time, and it took some time. This school prank lasted for 2 years. It all began at this high school when a single rubber duck appeared in the school's water fountain. And nobody thought much of it. It was just a random duck. Who cares? Until the next day, 2 ducks. Then 4, then 10. By the end of that week, there was rubber ducks appearing in every sink, every toilet, and even in students' lockers. Teachers were losing their minds. The principal, she was done. She kept saying on the intercom, "Whoever's responsible for the ducks, speak up now, please." Silence. Nobody confessed. So they gave up. They figured it would eventually sizzle out. But here's the thing, it never stopped. For 2 years, rubber ducks would randomly appear in the craziest of places. Ceiling tiles, inside the vending machines, somehow. One duck even appeared in the vice principal's car. It became a legend till the senior year. It was graduation. The principal was giving her speech when suddenly a banner dropped down. What was on the banner? A single rubber duck. This kid walked to the front of the stage and said, "It was me. It was always me." This kid's not all there. I'm thirsty. But he wanted to focus really hard on this spelling test. He didn't want to be distracted by taking a sip of water or asking to go get some. So this is his brilliant idea. He went to the water fountain before class. He got a very big gulp of water and left it in his mouth. He heard that this is what the squirrels do. They put nuts in their mouth and they save them for later. Well, that was his idea, but with water. So now he's sitting in class. The teacher's naming the words, and he's writing the spelling down with a bunch of water in his mouth. All right, class, your next word is fortitude. His plan was to take small, tiny gulps throughout the test, so he never went thirsty. Well, about 2 minutes into the test, his cheeks give way, and a bunch of water just falls right on his desk. The test and the desk were soaked. Water was now spilling on the floor, and other kids noticed. The teacher walks over. "Why is there a bunch of water on your desk and the floor?" The kid didn't know how to respond, so he just looks her in the eyes and said, "I have no idea." The teacher was so confused by that answer that she just walked away. No more questions were asked. He failed that spelling test. What? This is what happens when your math teacher sucks. This guy's kid is in 4th grade, and she's been having trouble in math. The whole year she's struggled, but when they got to multiplication and division, she struggled even more. I just don't understand it, Dad. I know, let's just try it again. The thing is, she just doesn't understand the method they're teaching, and it doesn't sound easy. So for multiplying, it's a bunch of steps. You break up the numbers, you draw boxes, then you multiply and then add them together. Something like that. And she gets these problems wrong like 90% of the time. So the dad's like, "You know what? I'm gonna teach you the way that I learned how to do multiplication." She's like, "Okay." And guess what? "Oh, Dad, I understand it." She under-frickin-stands it. Homework is a million times easier now because she learned it and she's actually solving the problems. Well, here's the issue. His daughter had a math test a few weeks ago. She came home very upset. "Dad, I failed." "What? Let me see your test." She got a 50%, even though she only got 2 problems wrong. Technically, it should have been a 92%. So he goes into school and he has a conversation with the teacher. "Can you explain why my daughter failed?" The teacher says, "Yes, it's because she didn't use the method that I taught in this class." "Excuse me?" The dad pointed out that the test just says to show you work. It doesn't say to use a specific method. But she said, "Well, that's too bad. I taught my method to these students for a reason. Your daughter didn't use it, so she fails." Oh, the dad was furious. He went to the principal. He admits that he made it a pretty big deal. "What are you guys teaching in the school, huh? Some bogus way to do multiplication? It's so much easier than that. Now my daughter's failing even though she got a 92% on the test." Except with a lot more yelling. The principal called the teacher in and forced her to change the girl's grade to an A. The principal then apologized to the dad and said, "It won't happen again." Better not. But for real, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Meet Johnny. Johnny thought he was the smartest kid in the 7th grade. He spent all Monday night practicing his fake stomach pains. Ooh, Something kind of hurts. Hope I'm not getting sick.
I hope you feel better, sweetie.
Well, it works, because on Tuesday morning, his mom fell for it. Oh, Mom, the pain is worse. Oh, my poor baby. Well, I'm heading to work. I'll call you into school. Stay home. Get some rest.
Okay.
He felt like he pulled off the heist of a century. Spent all day playing video games, thinking to himself, my friends are probably so jealous of me right now. Well, the next morning, he goes back to school. Walks in like a king. What's up, guys? The second he gets into the building, he stops. The floors look extra shiny. Everyone's huddled in different groups, watching a video on their phone. He sees his friends. Yo, what's up? His friend says, bro, you picked the worst day to be sick. Apparently, during third period the day before, there was supposed to be a routine fire drill, but it wasn't just the alarm that went off. Something malfunctioned, and the sprinklers in the main hallway went off. We're talking gallons and gallons and gallons of water hitting those floors. One kid even took the bathroom soap and sprayed it on the floors as the sprinklers were coming down. Slip and slide! The best part was, it was 100 degrees outside, so this felt awesome. Teachers were sliding, the principal slipped, the weird kid from class used a lunch tray as a boogie board. Everybody went home soaking wet, but they said it was the best day of school ever, and that's all anyone talked about for years. There was Johnny. Oh, that sounds fun. It was amazing. Hope you're feeling better, by the way. Oof. Tough break. Every school has that one kid who is super talented at something random. At this one school, his name was Marcus, and he was amazing at flipping water bottles, but not the normal way. He was able to flip these water bottles and have them land on their cap on crazy surfaces, like the edge of a chalkboard. Watch this. Nice. He made it look so effortless that this one kid in his class wanted to try it for himself. It was study hall, very quiet, and he's sitting there. He's got a half-empty Gatorade bottle, and he's thinking to himself, this is my chance. I'm gonna flip this bottle, land it on its cap on the teacher's desk. You see, Marcus was in this study hall as well. Well, this kid went for it, gave it a flip. Marcus is getting so impressed. Here we go. It was like slow motion. Flip, flip, flip. But suddenly, the cap fell off. He didn't tighten it enough. And this Gatorade just spills all over the teacher's desk.
What the heck is your problem?
He panicked. Marcus did it, Marcus said. But no, I didn't, bro. The teacher said, yeah, I don't believe that. Marcus is a god at flipping bottles. Teacher knew how good Marcus was. He didn't believe this kid for a second. I'll take myself to the office. Yeah, that's a good idea. Tough break. Every neighborhood has that one house, yard where baseballs, frisbees, and dog toys go to die. The guy who lived there is creepy, angry, staring through the windows. Hey, go get the ball.
Let's just go inside.
Just like that, most kids accept the loss and they go buy a new one. But this one kid, he saw a gap in the market. What's up? He memorized the perimeter of this fenced yard. He knew the holes, the gaps, and he bought a very long pole. He has a 10-foot pole with a high grip claw at the end of it, and he started an extraction service. He pulls up with his bike and the pole like it's a jousting stick. All right, what is it? Baseball? Frisbee? It's my dog's favorite beaver toy. Okay, do you know where it is?
No.
That's fine. I'll use my drone. He had a drone with a camera so he could see above the yard to where the thing that needs to be extracted is, and then he would get to work. Okay, it's at this corner right here. I have the pole. Go through the gap. Is he watching?
No.
Got it. But he didn't do it for free. Depending on where in the yard it was, it could be $5, $10, or if the old man was right there watching, $20 because of the risk. But people usually paid. He didn't make bank, per se, but he made some good money, and he was a hero to a lot of neighborhood kids. One month he made $100 just by getting things that people were too scared to get themselves. I'd say it's a fair business, because there's no way the old man would ever give those things back, because he's just crazy like that. And so I say, gotta respect the hustle. These two best friends were next door neighbors. They decided they didn't want to walk around the fence to see each other anymore, so they were gonna dig a secret underground tunnel connecting one yard to the other. They started by the shed. I'm digging. They spent 2 weeks while their parents were at work. They both thought they were geniuses. Bro, we're geniuses. Tell me about it. Shoveling, pickaxing, hauling dirt out in wheelbarrows. Well, they were about 6 feet deep and 10 feet across when one of the kids pickaxed something solid. What was that? I don't know. Keep going. They shouldn't have kept going. Instead, he hit this thing again and again and again until burst. Water spraying everywhere. Ah!
Bro, this is so bad.
It was the water main, the main pipe, and the backyard began to flood. They ran out of that hole. The water didn't stop either. It kept going. The fire department showed up, and then the city workers, and they're like, what the heck is going on here?
We were trying to build a tunnel to each other's houses.
Where are your parents? They're at work. For the rest of the summer, that kid's yard had to be dug up and they had to repair that pipe. His parents were obviously upset, but they kind of blamed themselves.
How did we not know he was digging a tunnel in our backyard?
Yeah. That was my question too. That's insane. Careful where you dig. Younger siblings, am I right? This guy had a younger brother, and his younger brother always won. Didn't matter what happened. If they fought, he would get blamed. If thing broke, he would get blamed. Parents always hit him with, "You're older. You should know better." The younger brother figured this out fast, so he started using it to his advantage. He would start trouble, poking at him, annoying and messing with his stuff. The second the older brother reacted, "Dude, get out of here, what's your problem?" He would just scream, "Mom!" And then the older brother gets in trouble over and over and over again. So eventually this kid decides, alright, that's enough. Because no matter what happens, he gets punished. So he's at least gonna get a little bit of revenge. He waited until nighttime and he went into the bathroom that he shares with his little brother. He takes the toothbrush and he puts soap all inside the bristles. He then lets it kind of dry and puts it back in the cabinet. Well, when his brother brushed his teeth that night, it tastes weird, it tastes weird. He's spitting toothpaste everywhere, but his parents are annoyed. They're like, "Dude, just brush your teeth. Quit being a baby. Your toothbrush is fine. It's normal toothpaste."
No, I can't. It's disgusting.
Stop being dramatic. And yes, it was simple, but the noise of his brother getting yelled at even for something so stupid as that made him happy. This makes me happy. And he slept well that night. Yo, is anybody home? Oh look, cookies. So when this kid was in school, his parents worked late. So after school, he had to walk home an hour and a half every time his parents worked late. He hated riding the bus, so he said he'd rather walk. So because of this, he would always try to hang out at a friend's house who lived nearby and just get picked up from there later in the night when his parents were off. Well, one day he's walking by that friend's house and he decides to give him a call. No answer, but he remembers where they keep the spare key. For some reason, he can't explain why. He grabs the key and he lets himself in. Starts walking around the house, calling out for his friend. "Yo, you home? Hello?" Silence. Nobody's there. So he goes to the fridge, makes himself a sandwich, sits down on the couch, and starts watching TV. About 15 minutes in, he realizes, oh my god, I just broke into my friend's house. What am I doing? And it's not just anybody's house. His friend is Russian, and his dad is a scary Russian man who had tons of firearms. He panics, he puts the key back, and he runs out of the house. He gets home safely. His friend calls him back later that day, and he didn't suspect a thing. And he has kept that secret every single day since then. That's crazy. No. He was in the back of the classroom, during a boring lecture, scrolling through his crush's Instagram page. I mean, pretty risky thing to do with a crush in the class, but that's what he was doing. Well, he's years deep into her Instagram page. As he's scrolling, his thumb grazes the heart. No. He panics and he accidentally goes back. So now he's got to scroll all the way down to find this picture that he accidentally liked from 5 years ago. His brain short circuits. The school's Wi-Fi is so bad it's kind of lagging. Older posts aren't loading. No. He looks over at his crush and he sees that her notification went off and she's reaching for her phone. No. Meanwhile, during all this, his phone was at 1%, and it died. His face goes completely white. The guy next to him asks him, "Hey bro, you okay?" No, he wasn't okay. She looks at her phone. So he just gets up quickly and walks out of the room. Gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. As he walks out, he looks behind and she's looking at him. So now his crush saw that he liked a photo from years ago during class. And now he's running out of the room. He probably looks insane. But his crush saw it, so he goes to the bathroom and he sits in the stall until the bell rings. He said he was so embarrassed he didn't go to school the next day. And when he did return, yeah, he got bullied. So this kid ran a movie theater out of his garage, and yeah, he made money. This happened last summer. This one kid in the neighborhood, let's call him Johnny, not a really popular kid, but, people didn't mind him. He had a brilliant idea. He set up a projector in his garage. He had a popcorn machine in there, and he lines up actual chairs with cushions on them, rows A through D. He charges $3 for admission and $2 extra if they wanted popcorn. And business was immediately booming. Every night, new movie. One night's Kung Fu Panda 2. The next night, Jaws. Friday night, playing Ratatouille. He does double features on weekends. By mid-July, the whole block's pulling up. Parents are sending kids with snacks to share with everybody. Some dude's dad is grilling out hot dogs in the driveway. It's a whole thing. It becomes this amazing, beautiful frickin' movie theater on someone's cul-de-sac. But it did go sideways for a second. One night, the theater was showing The Meg. Big shark movie. I've never seen it. But some kid brought his little brother, and this movie caused this kid's little brother to absolutely freak the heck out. Crying, he's horrified. This kid's parents shows up and they're super mad. That night, the movie had to be shut down. Yeah, I'm not sure if your kid is qualified to run something like this. Yeah, well, your son's a little baby. Excuse me? Oh, this is better than the movie. Enough! Johnny's mom was finally like, you know what, that's it, no more shark movies, keep it all PG. And for the next few films, he did. But then he went back to playing the variety of movies that he really enjoyed, and it was fine. He ran this theater for 42 nights straight. And by the end of summer, he made $300. Man, that sounds like the perfect frickin' business. And you know what? You gotta respect the hustle. He was 11 years old and he built the best sandcastle of all time. Yes, it's beautiful. It had walls, tower, a drawbridge. There was seaweed that was decorating it. It was pure art. Well, once he finished, he stepped back to admire it. And here comes this menacing teenager. Nice sandcastle, loser. And just kicks the crap out of it. Sandcastle completely destroyed. Yo, what the heck? The teenager left. This kid was upset, but he decided to take action. So he rebuilt, bigger, stronger. And this time, he buried the heaviest, pointiest rock right in the middle of the sandcastle. Covered it perfectly. You wouldn't be able to tell it was there at all. And now this sandcastle looked even better than the first one. It's perfect. But as he suspected, the menacing teenager came by again. Oh, so you're just gonna rebuild it and think I wasn't gonna come back? The teenager pulled his leg back, he's getting ready, and he just kicks it. Remember the rock the kid buried in there? Destroyed this kid's foot. Oops, shouldn't have kicked it, man. The kid limped away, crying to his mom. Some people gotta learn the hard way. Hey, awesome. There's always that one kid in school that would do anything. Not for money or clout, just because. Well, at this school, there was one kid, and he would do whatever anyone dared him to do. Slap a kid with a piece of pizza? Alright. Take a dump in the urinal? I got you. Stand up on a lunch table in the middle of lunch and dump a chocolate milk on his head while he's screaming? He didn't just do it, he committed. People started testing him to see where the line was. I dare you to eat this ladybug, okay? I dare you to toss a spoonful of yogurt on the principal. That's easy. Yeah, there wasn't a line. He would do anything. But here's the weird part. In class, he was completely normal. Yo, what was the homework from yesterday? What was that small package he gave us? It's actually due tomorrow, but super easy. The last question's a trick question though, so be careful. But yeah, you guys should be fine. Let me know if you have any questions. Cool. Well, he didn't have any social media, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Snapchat. So after graduation, he disappeared. Nobody has seen him or heard from him ever since. It's senior year, middle of class, when all of a sudden people hear, "Look, a horse!" People step out into the hallway and they see it. There's a horse just trotting down the hallway. The principal gets on the intercom and is like,
"Everybody stay in your classrooms."
Yeah, nobody listened. Kids are pouring out trying to see. They got their phones out. Yo, whose horse is that? The funny part is, this one teacher, he encouraged it. He told one of the kids in his class, "Hey, Billy, come here." "Yeah, what's up?" "Dude, I dare you to go ride that horse." "Okay." So now you have this horse trotting down the hallway, a bunch of students standing to the side, filming it, and this one kid jogs up and hops on the horse. People are losing their minds, and at this moment, the horse is heading right for these big doors in the edge of the school, and students run up and they open the doors. That's when the kid who jumped on the horse is like, "Go!" And he gallops right outside the school. Now, the school was right next to these farms, so that's obviously where the horse came from, but this kid just goes. He's now outside of school on this random horse that somehow got in, galloping around fields of corn. And honestly, that would be the best day of school ever. She banned calculators, then this happened. This teacher was a strict math teacher, one of those no calculator types, which is lame in my opinion, because screw math. But anyway, class, you will never need a calculator if you're actually smart. She said that at least once a week, always with a little smirk. Like she's trying to be inspirational, but she just comes across as condescending. One day, she's flying through problems in the board. She's fast, she's confident, she's feeling herself. Okay, 12 times 6, that gives us 64. The kid in the back, Brady, raises his hand and goes, "Miss, you mean 72, right?" "Excuse me? Yeah, you said 12 times 6 is 64. It's 72, miss." She looks at the board and she slowly erases it and changes it to 72. Awkward. Then Brady from the back goes, "Maybe you should use a calculator." "Yeah, miss. What now?" She's actually dumb. "Yeah, use a calculator, idiot. You smell like my dad." Everybody liked this one guy. Yo, what's up? Like everybody. He was popular, funny, and he was always the center of every single party. So one night, there's this big party at somebody's house, and everybody's there. It's packed, there's music going, people chilling. Yo, this is a killer party, Johnny. Hey, thanks, man. I'm just honored that you're here. But you see, not everybody liked that kid. I hated him. So the kid that did not like him was talking to his friend. I just don't like the guy. Yeah, I don't like him that much anymore either. Dude, I'm in a group chat with him, and look what he's been saying. You see, he gets shown this group chat, and the popular kid is in this group chat talking trash about everybody, even his friends, even the girls he's currently hanging out with at the party. Hey, screenshot these and send me them. Okay, don't say it was me. So he gets the screenshot, and then he plugs his phone into the HDMI port of the TVs in the living room of this party, and he pulls up all the screenshots. He turns off the music. Everybody, look! And he has these screenshots of all the horrible stuff he said just right there on the TV. Wait, what? No, that's not me. People are mad. No, guys, they're jokes. I'm just joking in these. But it's too late. He had fallen from grace and he was shoved out of that party really quick. The next day he was at school. He went from popular to loser really quick. Hey, that's karma. It was supposed to be a normal middle school sleepover, but then things got crazy. It was 4 friends. They were all in 8th grade. They had the sleeping bags in the basement, Nerf guns, soda, the usual. They go upstairs. They're playing video games, but then one of the friends says this. Yo, what's that behind the fence over there? Oh, that's my neighbor's hot tub. We should go in it. Oh. Wait a minute. They laughed it off at first, but 1:30 a.m. hits. The parents are asleep, and they went outside. Are we really doing this? This is a bad idea, guys. Shut your mouth, Ralphie. Everyone chill out. We're going in. Next thing you know, all 4 of them are sitting in the neighbor's hot tub, snacking on Doritos, and someone's playing music from their phone. Okay, this is really nice. Pure relaxation, boys. Pure relaxation. Alright, we should get out soon, guys. Shut the hell up! Well, that's when, all of a sudden, the backyard floodlights go on. Oh my god, run! Yeah, there's 4 kids in my hot tub right now. Get out of here! The next morning, everybody's in the kitchen having breakfast. Everyone's worried about last night. Well, the doorbell rings. Oh, I'll get that. Wait, no! Hi, Mr. Johnson. Hi, Carol. We should have a conversation. She found out everyone gets in big trouble, but that sleepover went down in history as one of the greatest of all time. Presentations are today? I'm screwed! Hey, come here. I got you. This kid had over 200 PowerPoints just sitting on a flash drive. Every single one of them he made for fun. But then, he turned it into a genius business. This started around 8th grade. This kid, named Liam, quiet kid, kept to himself. For some reason, this guy was obsessed with making PowerPoint presentations. The history of water slides, the rise and fall of AOL, why birds might be smarter than we think. Just anything. At first, everyone thought it was just his thing, like his little quirk, until one day someone forgets to do their presentation for a class. Kids in full panic mode. What's the presentation on? Invasive species. I've got one on killer bees. Does that work? That's perfect. Kid turns it in, changes the title slide, and boom, he gets a B. That works. And just like that, it begins. He starts selling them PowerPoints on every single topic. Historical events, weird science, fast food history, literally anything. $10 per presentation and $15 if you had to have him customize it a little bit. He called it the Vault. Some of them people bought didn't even make any sense for what they had to turn in, but it was still better than nothing. By the end of the year, he had made over $500 doing this, and he says he plans to keep on doing it because he just loves making PowerPoints and he doesn't see himself ever stopping. So the supply is endless. You gotta respect the hustle. So where's my daughter? Yeah, well, we got good news and bad news. This happened the second day of kindergarten. Ella is 5 years old. It's her second day ever riding the bus. The bus route ends at the daycare, and that's where her mom picks her up after work. But on this particular day, the bus pulls up. The kids get off, except for Ella. The daycare staff looks around. Wait a minute, where's Ella? They call her mom. Hi, did you keep Ella home from school today? Because she's not here. What? No, she was in the bus this morning. The mom calls the school. Where is my daughter? She didn't get off her bus today. I have no idea. They had no idea. They panic. The mom panics. 15 minutes later, the school calls the mom back. Hi, we know where she is. we know where she is. She had fallen asleep on the bus. The bus driver never checked the seats. They drove the bus back to the bus depot and locked the bus inside of the garage and left. Ella wakes up alone. On a dark, silent bus, and she's absolutely horrified, as you can imagine. There's no lights, there's no voices. She starts screaming. Ah! Finally, a mechanic hears her and runs over. She's in tears, she's shaking, she's hugging her backpack. The school apologized. The bus driver got fired. And that girl never took a nap on a bus ever again. It's lunch. One group goes to sit down at their normal spot, but another group's already sitting there. This is our table. We've been sitting here all week. Nobody moves. It's a standoff. That's when somebody from one of the groups says, "Hey guys, why don't we all just share the table?" So they all cram into this one table. Awkward small talk at first. Then somebody from Group A comments, "Yo, aren't you that guy that cried during the fire drill? It was one time, dude. The alarm was loud." Group A starts laughing. Well, Group B fires back. "Well, didn't you fail the easiest history test last semester? At least I didn't pee my pants during prom." Now it's on. Insults are flying. Old drama resurfacing. One kid slaps another guy. Cat. A teacher walks over. "Hey, what's going on here?" Both groups go silent. "Nothing, we're just bonding." "Yeah, sure you are." The teacher walks away. For the rest of the lunch, they sit there silent. But the next day, they both sat at that table again, and instead of insults, they were actually telling stories and laughing, so I don't know. I think they all became friends. Picture this, first day of high school, a new teacher walks in. Cool looking guy with the mustache. He starts roll call. "Billy, here. Carl, I have milk in my backpack. Steven, here. You must be the kid that still sleeps in that blue race car bed, huh?" "What?" The kid was confused because he actually did sleep in a blue race car bed. So he started thinking that this guy's a total creep, but he forgot about it. Maybe it was a lucky guess. Well, as days go on, there were more and more things this teacher was saying. "How's Rufus, Steven? Has he still got that stomach infection? How did you know that?" This reminds me of when your mom was talking about the cat and when he ate the light bulb. "Hey, Steven, how was that Twinkie last night? I know you snuck one from the cabinet." Was it 2 a.m.? 2 a.m. Twinkie? Kid's absolutely freaked out. The next day he's in class, scared of what he's gonna say today, when all of a sudden, his dad comes out. "Hey, how we doing?" "Johnny." "Steven, we got you." "Yeah, we got you, son." What? Turns out this kid's dad and the new teacher go to the same gym, and one day they got to talking, and the dad's like, "Oh, you're starting at Gilchrist teaching this year, huh?" "Yeah, 5th grade." "Oh, my son's in 5th grade." "Oh, nice. What's his name?" "His name's Steven. He's in your class." "I have a great idea." It was all an elaborate prank. Kid was definitely relieved, but he's not too happy that now all of his classmates know that he still sleeps in a blue race car bed. They had just moved into a house in the woods. "All right, family, here we are. Go check the place out." "We're gonna be so happy here." So they only been there for a few weeks. Every once in a while, some wild turkeys would show up in the yard. 5, maybe 6 of them, and they would just wander around. Nobody thought anything of it. "Hey, look, kids, the turkeys are back." Yay! Well, Thanksgiving comes around, and although there are turkeys by the house, this guy doesn't hunt one, he goes to the store and buys one. He cooks the turkey, the table's all set, and now the dining room table is right in front of this giant window. Well, he puts the cooked turkey down, he grabs his carving knife, and he starts to carve this turkey. Okay. Well, as he's deep into the carving, he looks up and out the window. I kid you not, there were 15, maybe 20 wild turkeys lined up, staring directly inside this guy's window as he's carving the turkey he just cooked. What is happening? "Honey, I'm hungry. Is food almost ready?" "Sweetie, look. They're watching us." "What?" He lowers the knife, takes the turkey, brings it into another room where there are no windows, and he finishes carving it there. And then once this guy moved to a different room, one by one, those turkeys went back into the woods. That is wild. "You are stealing from the school." "I'm charging my phone." "Exactly." This kid plugs his phone into the wall outlet during class. It wasn't a distraction, his phone just had low battery, and they were doing a free work period, so what's the big deal? Well, the teacher sees this and loses it. "Unplug that now, you are stealing school electricity." "It's a phone charger." "Unplug it or you're suspended and we'll bill you for the power you used." He thinks there's no way that the school would go that far, so he doesn't unplug his phone. But the school, oh, they wanted to punish him. They were ready. He gets called to the office the next day. Official suspension. And he got a notice to appear before a disciplinary committee. What? All this for using the wall outlet in class. So he shows up. Calm, silent. "Well, young man, theft is theft, no matter how small. Cool. Here's 10 cents. Keep the change." "Excuse me, you're not done here." Oh, yes I am. Bye." And he walks out. He didn't do that as an actual payment. He did it as a statement, because the electricity he used probably cost the school less than a penny, and he gave them 10 times that, just to show how ridiculous this all was. And just to punish him and make an example out of him, the school district spent hundreds of dollars filling out forms, calling this meeting, filing reports just to punish him. So they're the real losers in this fight. And this kid just walked out, no care in the world. What an absolute legend. He got punched on purpose, and his plan worked. It's 7th grade. This one kid, Zach, had been dealing with this guy named Tyler for a while now. And Tyler was a piece of work. He was loud, annoying, and constantly trying to get a rise out of Zach. Well, the thing is, Zach never let it get to him. He never shouted back. He never did anything mean to him. He didn't fight. He just waited. Until one Friday at dismissal, Zach saw his way. He sees Tyler standing over there by a locker, and he decides to enact his plan. It's time. Oh, hey, yo! He walks by Tyler and softly and accidentally bumps him in the shoulder. Yo, what is your deal? Well, Tyler snaps, and all Zach does is stand there. Say something. He doesn't, and that makes him very mad. He then winds up and punches Zach right in the face. You know what, dude? Well, Zach stumbles back, throws up his hands like he's gonna fight back, but then he just says, Time out, time out, time out. Yeah, you just punched me in the face, man. I'm not gonna fight you back, though. Everyone's like, yo, what? Guys, I didn't hit him, right? Huh? Look, he hit me. I didn't hit him. Security rolls up, so does the principal. No, he bumped into me. He was gonna fight me. No, it's a crowded hallway. I didn't even touch you. You punched me. What happened? We were fighting. Both of us. What happened? He punched me. I never swung. Zach didn't do anything. Tyler did. They looked at the cameras, and everything checked out. Tyler was suspended for 3 days, and Zach got nothing. The next day, somebody asked Zach, Yo, dude, was that your plan the entire time? What can I say? I played chess. And that was his way of getting back at his bully without lifting a finger. Genius. This happened in the school cafeteria. There was a student with a severe peanut allergy. Like the kind where touching residue would send him into complete shock. Everybody knew this, it was serious. But then there was this one kid, the class bully. One day at lunch, he pulls out a Reese's peanut butter cup. You know the ones. He eats it in front of this kid with the allergy, chewing it slowly, on purpose. Hey man, quit messing around, man. Okay, keep away from me. Then, he licks his finger. Hey. He starts chasing the allergy kid around the cafeteria. Come on, come here. One little touch, man. Stay away from me. He's laughing like it's just some game. And then taps the kid on the arm. Within seconds, this kid's face starts swelling up. Eyes puffed shut, he falls to the ground gasping. The nurse rushes in, she uses the EpiPen, and he gets sent to the ER. He nearly died, pretty much. But the bully? 2-week suspension. That's it? That's it. That was it. The kid with the allergies' parents tried to press charges. But there was some kind of settlement. Turns out the bully's parents had a lot of money that they donated to the school. And the school buried this. Karma's gonna get that kid one day, I swear. That's messed up. Here's what happens when you sell snacks to a rich kid. This guy's running a locker snack business to save up for a computer. Well, one kid ordered a bag of hot Cheetos and a Gatorade. Easy transaction. So he brings it to this kid's locker, and the kid looks at the Cheetos all weird. Yo, man, this bag is way too wrinkled. Okay, I'll go grab a fresh one for you. So he runs back to his locker and grabs a fresh bag. He comes back, and now this kid's saying the Gatorade's wrong. Also, dude, this is the wrong flavored Gatorade. You said blue Gatorade. I did not say blue Gatorade. He said blue Gatorade. Well, while he's standing there, you know what? It's fine. I'll take it. Okay. Well, the kid's standing there waiting to get paid when the rich guy starts showing his friends pictures of the yacht his parents just bought. Hey, Kevin, Deacon, check this out, man. That's a big boat. It's my parents. Hey, can I get the money? Jeez. Impatient, are we? Fine, here. Takes the money. He goes. The next day, the rich kid stops him in the hallway. Hey, yo, dude, those Cheetos were stale yesterday. I want a full refund. The Cheetos weren't stale. They were brand new. But he didn't know what to say, so he just refunded the guy. He says it doesn't matter. He's sure karma will catch up to this kid one day. He pre-ordered a cake for his mom's birthday. Okay, I'll pick it up soon. It was a custom order. He walks into the bakery, gives the pickup name, Carlos. Okay, I have your cake right here. Then a woman steps closer to him. Hi, that's a really nice cake. It is, right? Can I have it? No, sorry, it's a custom-made cake. But custom-made cakes take so long, I want yours. The guy just turns his back to walk away, but this woman turns him around. Okay. No, don't walk away from me. Excuse me? Give me that cake right now. Absolutely not. It's my mom's birthday cake. Well, me and my kid want it more than your mom. This guy sees the kid buyer and looks at him. Leave me out of this. The kid doesn't even care. The worker comes over. Hey, what's going on in here? I want that cake. The worker says no, so this woman tackles the guy. Hey, man, run.
Take your cake and get out of here!
The guy then escapes the shop with the cake, while this woman and the worker are fighting on the floor. The cops were called, and that woman was arrested. But seriously, who crashes out that hard over a cake? Doesn't make any sense to me. She's nuts. He made bank at school. It started in 7th grade when one kid noticed the same thing every single week. Somebody forgot their lunch, somebody's card got declined, or somebody just straight up didn't eat. And every single time, they'd beg their friends for food or snacks at the table, and their friends are like, no bro, get your own. Listen, I've been there. So this kid started a business, $5 a month. And if your lunch ever fell through, he would spot you, no questions asked. So he started carrying a backpack full of basic lunch foods. A bunch of PB&Js, chips, granola bars, juice boxes, nothing fancy, but it was food. He called this business lunch insurance. Brilliant. People laughed at him at first. No, this is a dumb business, dude. Oh, you think so? Just you wait. But during that first week of business, 4 kids needed this. Hey, remember when I called your idea dumb? First of all, I'm sorry. Second of all, I forgot my lunch again, and I think I'm just gonna subscribe to the service. Oh, okay. By month 2, he had 22 subscribers, and now he had tiers. Bronze tier got you a basic fix of food. Basic PB&J, basic granola bar, basic juice box. The silver tier came with kind of upgraded items. Maybe a salami sandwich, a Capri Sun instead of a basic juice box, and maybe he'd throw in a Nutter Butter or something. And gold tier had even better items, and on top of that, hot Cheetos. He had a clipboard and a list. This guy was official. And guess what, my friends? Business was absolutely booming. Eventually, a teacher saw him divvying out snacks to people. She thought it was a black market. Well, the kid explained it. Clipboard, the tiers, lunch insurance, customer feedback. The teacher just stared at him and said, you might be a genius, but stop with the hot Cheetos, okay? Those are banned at our school. And he did switch out the food. Instead of hot Cheetos, now he had Sun Chips, garden salsa, harvest cheddar. He was doing it right. By April, he had over 60 paying subscribers, and even a couple teachers on the list. His total revenue? $2,700. You gotta respect the hustle. This mom spent 5 years telling everybody in town that her son was a monster. He cut me off. He hasn't talked to me in years. She would go on Facebook and post these long, crying rants about how family is everything and how she didn't understand why her own flesh and blood would just stop speaking to her.
I'm a heartbroken saint of a mother.
She was really making herself the victim. I just don't get it. I gave him life, and now he won't even answer a text. I've done nothing but love him. Well, her son eventually caught wind of all of this, and he decided he was done being the villain in this story. He finally posted a comment on one of his mom's crazy posts. He didn't write much. It was a simple question. Hey mom, glad you're doing well. Quick question, where's my Honda? People commented. The truth finally came out. A few years back, her son let her borrow his car because her transmission was out, and she needed to get around for a few days. But the day he dropped it off, all right mom, keys are in the ignition, I'm gonna get an Uber back home, you're all set. Thank you, son. Well, that day she didn't drive it to work. She drove it straight to a car dealership. And it wasn't a formal car dealership. It was some random guy. And she sold it to him. Yeah, I'll take it. Here you go. She then used that money to put towards a new car for herself. Why on earth would you do this? I needed something reliable. You're young. You can walk. I can't believe you. But she got mad at him. She said that, oh, quit complaining. You should be happy for me. But obviously, he wasn't. And that's why he never talked to her. Good reason.
This senior class pulled a crazy prank. One night before school, they sent a few people out to pet stores to buy buckets and buckets of crickets. Oh, we got this. This is gonna be the best prank ever. Then, right before lunch, they poured buckets of crickets into any trash can they could find. Well, that day during lunch, a fight broke out. People were pushing and shoving each other.
Hey, wait a minute.
A crowd begins to form. And amidst all this chaos, these garbage cans got knocked over. And I guess the crickets that have been sitting in there saw this as an opportunity to go crazy. So now there's this wave, this swarm of crickets just going all over the place, and people are freaking out. It turns into chaos. Nobody knows why there's an army of crickets, and somebody pulls a fire alarm. Within minutes, the school loses complete control. And at the end of the day, pest control was there trying to fix the situation, trying to get rid of all these crickets, and I guess they did their best. Weeks go by, then months, and crickets are still showing up. In classrooms, in lockers. Years later, every so often, you could hear them at night in the ceiling, all because of one senior prank. And honestly, that's legendary.
He had a crush on this girl for months. They were in the same last period class. Hey, what's up, Carla? Hey, Bryce. Well, 3 days before Valentine's Day, he decides he's done being scared. So instead of just asking her out like a normal person, he buys one of those school singing Valentines. $10, one singer, he comes to your class and sings to your crush. All set? Thank you. You got it. Now it's the night before Valentine's Day. His phone rings. Hello? Yo, dude, she has a freaking boyfriend. Oh, man. So now he panics. That next morning, he tries to cancel. But it's too late. No refunds, and everyone's already been sent out. Well, it's last period. He's sitting there praying that they ran out of time and that somehow his order would be skipped. 10 minutes left in class. Please, please, please. And here this guy comes. We have a singing Valentine here for Lady Erickson. Oh, that's my last name. That's me. And he begins. Wild thing, you make his heart sing. He's in love with you. Or something like that. I don't know the song, but it goes on for a good 45 seconds. Yay! Now, she obviously assumes this is from her boyfriend, but then he hands her the card. And here is the card from your Valentine. She opens it up. Bryce? I didn't know that you... I have a boyfriend, you frickin' creep. Wait till I tell him about this. You're done for. After that class, he rushes out of the door into the buses, and he goes home. And he said that was the most embarrassing day of his entire life. Yeah, it was supposed to be a normal lunch period, but 5 minutes later, the principal was on the floor. This happened at high school. Two senior girls lock eyes. You told him I cheated? Yeah, because you did. People are starting to notice what's going down. The cafeteria gets quiet. One of the girls picks up a carton of chocolate milk and dumps it on the other girl's head. And it begins. The hair pulling, the smacking. Get off me! You are so dead! Lunch trays are flying around, people are backing up, the principal comes running in. Hey, break it up! That's when one of the bigger of the seniors just clocks him right in the gonads. He drops, the whole cafeteria gasps, and then she climbs on a table. You want drama? I'll give you drama! No. A full-blown elbow drop. Kids are screaming, some are cheering, most of them are recording, and that was the day lunchroom beef turned into a full-blown wrestling match. Nobody forgot that day, ever. Especially the principal. What's going on back there? Call a priest! This happened in elementary school. There were two sisters that lived at the top of a very steep hill. And I mean super steep. Steep, winding hill. Them at the top. And every morning, the school bus had to climb all the way to the top just to get them. But one morning, one of the sisters gets on looking pale. She sits in the back, she's quiet, the vibes are not good. Well, halfway down the steep hill, she throws up. Hard, loud, full-forced. Right into the aisle. Her sister sees it and immediately throws up as well. Couple of kids nearby start gagging and then they throw up. And most of them are throwing up in the aisle. And remember, this is going downhill. So as they're puking, this river of vomit is just flowing to the front of the bus. And as the river passes each row, those people begin to throw up. Like a chain reaction. Every seat, somebody's adding to the stream. Like it's a contagious situation. Well, the river of vomit reaches the front. That's when the driver, Miss Jeannie, finally notices. She slams on the brake, stands up, turns around and says, "What is going on back here?" Then she sees it and immediately wishes she hadn't. She radios the school. "Oh my god, it smells. We're gonna need all the towels you have and maybe call the priest." When the bus finally pulls up to the school, the principal and the nurse are waiting. Jeannie opens the door to the bus and the puke starts to pour out of it. That's how much was in there. Eventually, everybody gets off the bus, but the smell follows them into the school. And I kid you not, kids were throwing up in other classrooms just from the scent. And that day went down in history. What a frickin' nightmare. This is the craziest bus ride ever. This happened on a 5th grade farm field trip. Middle of nowhere, long bus ride, bumpy roads. Kid in the front goes, "Ma'am, are we almost there?" "About 10 miles away, class. Hang tight." Then boom, glass explodes. Something smashes through the windshield. Kids are crying. The driver yells, "It's a bird! It's a big bird!" The teacher looks down and it's a full-grown turkey. Dead. Feathers, blood, just laying there on the aisle of the bus. Okay, nobody panic. Nobody touch the turkey. She grabs a binder and she scoots this giant dead turkey towards the back of the bus by the door. She then opens the back door of the bus and kicks this turkey as hard as she can like a soccer ball. Okay, everybody off the bus, line up against this fence. Head count, please. The kids are still shaking. There's feathers in their hair. Because when she kicked the bird, it kind of exploded a bit. Really traumatic. The new bus will be here in 20 minutes. Okay? And she's all calm like she's done this before. The trip was canceled, obviously. When the new bus got there, they all got in and they just went back to the school. But the smell of turkey death lingered on them for hours.
Have a good day, sweetie. Don't miss the bus. I won't. He waves, he shuts the door, he walks down the street, and he pulls out his phone and he calls the school. Hi, this is Mr. Thompson. My son's gonna be sick today. Johnny Thompson? Okay, sorry to hear that. I'll mark him down as absent. Have a great day. He then walks to the local store, buys a bunch of candy, and he hangs out at the park. Meanwhile, his mom and his dad had just finished a morning appointment. Hey, since we're both off work today, let's go surprise Johnny with some lunch. That's a great idea. We'll get him some Wendy's and we'll drop it off at the office. We'll have him come down and say hi. Perfect. They get to Wendy's, they pull into the school parking lot, and they walk into the front office with a brown Wendy's bag and a Frosty. Great parents. Hi, we're here to drop this off for Johnny, our son, Johnny Thompson. Johnny's not here today. What? Oh yeah, Mr. Thompson called in this morning. He's sick. I'm Mr. Thompson. No, I did not, and no, he is not. Oh, boy. Now cut to Johnny, their kid, in the park, playing phones on his game and eating candy like he's a freaking king. His mom calls him, and he doesn't even think at first. Hey, Mom, what's... I know what you did. Oh, man. He then goes home. His parents come home with the cold Wendy's and the melted Frosty. Johnny was grounded, but they still let him eat the Wendy's. It happens.
A dirty pair of shoes changed his entire life. It started when this kid noticed something weird. Every single Friday, without fail, this one math teacher wore the same busted sneakers. Grimy, white New Balances that were definitely super stained. So one day during lunch, this 8th grader walks up to him. You know I can clean those shoes for you, right? Be my guest. So they go to his classroom, he gives him the New Balances and puts on another pair of shoes, and this kid takes the teacher's shoes home. He wants to do a good job, so he's watching tutorials on YouTube, he borrows his cousin's shoe cleaning kit, he goes to town. Well, he brings those shoes back looking brand spanking new. Yo, these are nice. Can you clean the shoes I actually care about though? And just like that, word spreads fast. By next week, this kid's got a folded up table in the corner of the lunchroom with a sign that says, Sneaker Shine, $5 for basic, $10 for premium. He brought in toothbrushes to scrub the stuff, he had suede brushes to keep that suede looking fresh, and he had like sneaker whitening pens. By week 3, some of the football players are giving him their cleats after practice for him to clean. By week 4, he's got some teachers that are giving him their shoes. And by week 5, this kid is shining shoes during class, doing algebra with one hand and scrubbing Vans with the other. Business was absolutely booming. Well, one teacher, who's kinda lame, reported him for running an unauthorized business. But the principal pulled him aside and said, look, you're not in trouble. Just don't make a mess, keep it quiet, and bring your rates down for school staff. For you, Mr. Johnson, you got it. And for you, always free. He made $800 in 2.5 months. Eventually, after a while, it did get out of hand and he had to stop. But by that point, he had a huge clientele, and he started his own website. You gotta respect the hustle. His name was Frog Boy, and he was the weird kid at this one school. Froggy, Puggy Wuggy. Every single day before class, he would be in the woods behind the school, catching frogs, lizards, and raising tadpoles in a Home Depot bucket. Grow, little tadpoles. Grow into frogs. And every day he would walk into class smelling like pond water. Yo, Frog Boy smells extra froggy today. But in class, he would have so much pent-up energy. He couldn't sit still, and every single teacher knew this. Kevin, why don't you go take a lap around the school, okay? Okay. They would often let him leave school and run around the building and come back to tire himself out. In different classes, other kids would be doing math, and they would look out the window to see Frog Boy running by. 2 + 2 is 6. He would also just do crazy stuff, like one week he super glued all the woodshop tools to the wall. It's a masterpiece. My tools! Another week he went into the kitchen and spread flour everywhere. It looks like it snowed in here. My kitchen! And it was like that for a long time. Well, fast forward years later. One of his old classmates is at home scrolling through his phone when he stumbles on a viral motocross clip. Yo, that's sick! It's a clip of a guy on a dirt bike going off this huge ramp and doing a backflip. That's when the old classmate realizes, wait, that's frickin' Frog Boy! Frog Boy was now a professional motocross rider, and he was very rich. I'm just happy he used his energy for something awesome like that. Hey, Go Frog Boy. This kid had a fish allergy, and he always told his mom, "Mom, I can't eat fish, I'm allergic." And he's not like die allergic, but if he has fish, he'll get sick. Headaches, vomiting. But his mom refuses to believe him. "No, you're not. Eat the fish." She would force him to eat the fish, saying that he's not allergic, and then when he does eat it and gets sick, she gets annoyed. "Oh my god, you're dramatic. Clean up after yourself." Well, one night, the mom's hosting a big dinner party. This kid is 9 years old. Everybody's eating. His mom hands him a fish fillet in front of all the guests. "Here you go, sweetie. Eat this. Let me know how it is." "Mom, I told you I can't eat fish." "That's not true. That's not true, everybody. Eat the fish." That's when the kid realized, okay, I'm gonna eat the fish. He eats the fish. Everybody's watching. 10 minutes later, he walks back into the kitchen. "Oh, did you like the fish? You want more, I bet, huh?" "No, Mom, I..." Pukes all over the mom and the table. The guests are shocked. "Oh my god! Clean up an aisle fish!" "Milk!" Now you can see it in the mom's face. She wants to explode. Kid's like, "Do it, Mom. Everyone will see who you really are." But the mom can't. Not in front of all her guests. So she flips. "Oh, my poor baby. I think you are allergic to fish. Let me go put you to bed." She then takes him upstairs and tucks him in and joins the party again. And from that day on, she never made him eat fish ever again. Hey, kid's a genius. There was a school in Florida that tried to monetize the bathroom. It's so messed up. They gave every student 3 restroom credits a month. And if you ran out, each additional restroom credit was $5 each. This is insane. The principal called it time management training, which didn't make any sense. It's more like a human rights violation. Well, that's when a student named Marcus, what's up, realized that the school just created the most valuable currency on campus. "Okay, I got 2 credits left. I'll trade them for your pre-calc answers and your lunch." "Okay, cool, yeah, deal." Marcus became this bladder broker of sorts. "Hey bro, you never pee, right?" "No, just once before school and once at night." "I'll buy your credits off you." He would either trade these credits or sell them to students who were having an emergency for a massive markup. Now the crazy part is, he began trading, buying, and selling these credits very obviously in front of teachers in the hallway, because his plan was to get caught. So when the principal did catch on, "Marcus, I know what you're doing." "Oh, you do you? You cannot be trading, buying, or selling these bathroom credits." "Well, what are you gonna do about it, huh?" "Oh, well, you're gonna get in big trouble." "No, you're not, because listen up. You got a few options here. You can punish me, but then I'll go to the school board, tell them that you're charging students $5 to use the bathroom. Or you can let me continue and do nothing about it. Or your last and honestly best option, get rid of the credit system. It's a human rights violation, you frickin' idiot." Out of my office now. By the next morning, the bathroom credit system was gone. And honestly, it was all thanks to Marcus. This second grader decides, I want to do something nice for my teacher. So one morning before school, she's outside and she picks a few apple blossoms. Enough to hold in one hand, and she was going to give it to her teacher. She's going to love this. She carries them all the way to school. And when it's time, she walks up to her teacher's desk. "I got these for you." Now you would think the teacher would be like, "Oh my goodness, thank you." But where'd you get these? "From a tree." Well, that's when the teacher snaps. "You pulled these from somebody's tree in their yard. You stole them." "No, I didn't." "No, I don't want to hear a single word from you. I'm tearing these flowers up. I'm throwing them away. You need to learn about rules, young lady. This is disgraceful. Sit down." Absolutely heartbreaking. This girl just wanted to do something nice and the teacher flipped out. Later that day during recess, her older sibling finds her. She was crying alone. "Oh my god, what happened?" She explains the situation. Well, he was ticked off. He storms inside and he yells at that teacher. "What'd you say to my sister? She was trying to do something nice for you today. You know where she got those flowers? From our backyard." Yeah, the flowers were their family's. She didn't steal them from anybody. The older brother then got a detention for yelling at a teacher, but he doesn't care. Because the way that teacher treated his little sister was unacceptable. That's a good brother. That's a bad teacher.
ও সরি আমি আমার কাকে কি বলি তুমি তো আমার 1 লক্ষ টাকা বেতনের চাকরি করো না তুমি কি দিবা
আমি বুঝি আমার মেয়ের সিকিউরিটি শোনো তোমাকে 15 লাখ টাকাই দিতে হবে একটা
কিন্তু আমি এখানে এক মুহূর্ত আর থাকবো না আমার এখানে দম বন্ধ হয়ে মারা যাব আমি
শৈলী রাতে বাড়িতে চলে এসেছে তাছাড়া
তুমি যাচ্ছ বিপরীতে আবেগ বাড়ছে বহু
ভাই আজকে না ভাই বুঝছেন কাজের চাপও বেশি আর বাসায় ফিরতে হবে সিঙ্গেল মোড
মানে পরিচিত কোনো আদার্স ভালো অপশন যদি থাকে সেখানেও আমাকে একটু রেফার করেন
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে তুমি প্যারা নিও না
ওইভাবেই বাবার সাথে কথা বলবো এখন তুমি কি বলো কিন্তু এখন আমাদের একটা সুস্থ জীবনে ফিরে আসা উচিত একটা নর্মাল লাইফ লিড করা উচিত।
না হলে না হবে, আমার কোনো প্যারা নাই তো। আরে চাকরিটা
আর কত বলবো তোরে? শোনো মা, প্রোগ্রাম আছে, ওটা শেষ করেই আসবে, আমাকে বলেছে, কথা হয়েছে।
আর আসছে যেমন ছেলে।
হ্যাঁ বাবা।
সব সময় কি পাওয়াতেই সুখ? তোমার গল্পটা না হয় না পাওয়াতেই হলো, তাতে ক্ষতি কি?
অনেক কথা মুখর আমায় দেখো।
আমি ওকে ভালোবাসি বাবা।
আমি জানি তুই ওকে ভালোবাসিস। ও সুস্থ থাকলে তো কোনো কথাই ছিল না।
জুতাই গানি করতেছে তোর। ও জোড়া আকাশ থেকে নেমে এলো ছোট্ট একটি প্লেন। আমি কুচলে মেরে চলো ভাইয়া, ওর লুকাতে হবে। পালাও।
বুঝেছি, কবিগুরু বলছে যে বুঝাইলে নাকি বিপদ হয়। আমার বিপদ হয়ে গেছে, জুতো চুরি হয়ে গেছে আমার। যখন টাকা হবে তখন নিয়ে যাবো, তারপর সেই জাহাজ নামাবো কোথায় যেন, সমুদ্রে। ইসম আমি পাগল মাস কয়া, আমি এটা খেলে কি তোমাকে মারবা?
না, তুমি তো খাচ্ছ, আমি কি তোমাকে মারতেছি?
কবিগুরু রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুর বলেছেন সব ষড়যন্ত্র এই মির্জাফরের।
বাবা বারবার বলতেছে কারা জানি ওকে মারছে, একটু সাহস হয়েছে নাকি?
জানি না।
জানি না মানে? আমি তো ভাবলাম একটু একটু বেড়েছে, তা না হলে এখানে ডাকলে।
একটা ভালোবাসাকে, একটা সম্পর্ককে, আমার আসলে দুটো নারী থেকে একটা নারীকে বেছে নিতে হয়েছে।
যেখানে কোনো সম্ভাবনা নেই সেখানে আপনার জীবন জড়িয়ে নষ্ট করে কি লাভ?
আমার একটা মা আছে, হ্যাঁ, মার কোলের ভিতরে তো বসে থাকি, দায়িত্ব অনেক। তোর তো কিছুই ঠিক নাই, তুই আমার সাথে আয় তো, আমার সাথে আয় না। এক মিনিট আপনার একটা মাস্টার্স কোর্স করতে হবে। Why? What is this, man? ওই স্মোক করবো। I have smoke.
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, কিচ্ছু করতে হবে না, আমি গোসল করে দেবো, শান্ত ছেলের মতো বসে থাকবা। হ্যাঁ, প্রমিস?
কবিগুরু বলেছেন ভাবো না, আমি হাঁটতে যাবো, আমার পেট বড় হয়ে যাবে না হবে।
তোর সুখের জন্য আমি সব করতে পারি। তুই তুই এভাবে ভেঙে পড়িস না। তুই ভেঙে পড়লে আমার খুব কষ্ট হয়।
আচ্ছা, চোখের গভীরতা কতটুকু পেলে?